So, my son and Mimi and I were just talking about the accident that happened this morning. Not too far from here. Actually, on the way to Mimi's work. Oh my goodness, a school bus and a car collided. And I saw it on the news at noon. Like, both front ends were like totaled. And both drivers were killed. Like, that must have been horrible. Mimi said it added 15 minutes to her driving. And she says it will on the way back because it's still not cleared up. But it was horrible. And so we were, speculating on what happened. And I said, well, there must have been a lot of speed involved. And we were talking about the intersection. And my son actually was able to point out which intersection it was, because we'd all gone through it. And then Mimi looked up what had happened, and it was the school bus and an unmarked police cruiser. So obviously the police car was rushing to something, and the school bus came out. I mean, who knows whose fault it was? You don't know. But there was a lot of speed involved, and must have been horrible. My son described he says the school bus was completely removed from its chassis. Right? Crazy. So that's pretty awful. My neighbor, who I'd been talking with earlier this morning, I guess he's a police officer, and we were talking about how he doesn't intend to stay here because, I don't know why, but he doesn't have any, because I made a comment about him not having any furniture. I said, you need some lawn chairs, because he was just sitting down on his deck, whatever. And he said, that he didn't have any furniture. And that he wasn't going to stay here long anyway, so I don't know. We discussed it, but I don't remember the details, but he's not long for here anyway. Anyway, he was just leaving, and but I don't make a comment about it. Just because he's a policeman doesn't mean he listens to the news. That was not nice today. I've made another purchase. One was necessary. My mouse pad, I believe I mentioned, is one that is a particular mouse pad that I have come to like. And because of being in graphic arts, I have a particular propensity towards a certain style of mouse pad. You develop an affinity for certain tools, and that tool, a mouse and mouse pad, were necessary for my work. So I really don't like other kinds. It doesn't matter that I'm no longer in the industry. I don't like other kinds. So I tracked down, every time I get this mouse pad, I have to track it down, because now it's online, right? It used to be I'd go to Staples and find it there. Well, I can't find it at Staples anymore, and so I had to track down by the brand name of it, and then they have that is a particular style of their mouse pad, and I had to find the particular one, and Anyway, so I found it. I found it. It didn't have the same pattern on it. This is just black with pinstripe. And the one that I found in the store was bubble something. So I kept looking, but I wasn't sure that the bubble looking one was the same mouse pad, so I had to be sure. And all of a sudden I found, because it said find it on somewhere else. I found it somewhere else, and all of a sudden there it was, my black with pinstripes. But all you could do is enter your information. You couldn't actually buy it. It seemed to indicate that after they had all of your information, they would get in touch with you. Okay, a little sketchy, but whatever, go for it. Entered my information, and it said within 4 hours they would get back to me. So I kept on checking for my emails and didn't see anything. All of a sudden, I get a phone call. Who's calling me? It's probably just one of those Visa, MasterCard. Yeah, I don't have Visa. Anyway, I answered, and he said who he was. I said, huh? And then I realized it was the mouse pad people. It's not just mouse pads, they sell lots of other stuff. And he was just checking that this is really what I wanted, and on and on and on. So we then discussed the mouse pad, and he laughed and said that he ran into that he liked the same mouse pad, and that every, after a certain period of time, all the outside, you can get your mouse to work on the outside, but the center part where you do most of your mousing just doesn't work anymore. And there's no way about it. So yeah, I had to get my information